It is 19 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, Andrea Moore back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
So far, so good. Came home from Denver last week just to be with the traffic that was coming in for UFO Festival.
Mm-hmm.
I came in town rolling in about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning Friday.
Okay.
And I have not seen so much traffic coming into Roswell ever.
Yeah.
Not that late anyway.
Yeah, it was busy the whole weekend.
It was pretty cool.
Even I noticed yesterday and Monday when the festival's over, there's still a lot more folks still in town, going downtown and visiting, shopping, and doing all that sightseeing and what have you.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah.
And it's awesome. I love seeing tourists back and people in town. And you can always tell the gauge of how many tourists you have on the four corners right there at 2nd and Main. Because if they're loaded up, there's people all over town.
Absolutely. And you can spot the tourists real easy, obviously, because of the green, yellow sticker from the museum.
Their Day-Glow sticker.
I had one Friday because we were at a family in town, so we did the UFO Fest stuff on Friday. And yeah, that was me walking around downtown with my yellow sticker and going into the businesses and shops and the museums and things like that.
Yeah, my daughter was babysitting, so she took about all the little kids she was babysitting and went to UFO Festival, and of course they came back with all kinds of goodies.
Oh yeah, things that glow and light up, and
oh, absolutely. I was like, okay, that's my cue to go upstairs because you're on call with those kids.
Although I'm kind of curious. I don't remember seeing these in there last time I went, but maybe they were and just didn't notice. They were selling a plethora of foil hats at the museum. Like if you go to the gift shop at the museum, they had your own foil hat in a box. I almost bought one just to say I bought one.
Funny. I wonder how much that costs as opposed to
I think it's like
go
$5.
get a sheet of foil and
yeah. But if you're not into arts and crafts, I got a feeling that's kind of probably the way to go there.
Right? Yeah, so it seemed like the UFO Festival went off pretty well.
Yeah.
Considering that we kind of had 3 events in one.
Sure. And then the weather was and so they had to make decisions kind of earlier in the week to say, hey, we're going to commit here, and whether like Saturday, I understand the decisions, but then hey, we got to do this, and they did the right decision. But,
absolutely.
But the weather Saturday, you're kind of like, man, we could have done this outside, I think, but
well, it's better to be safe than sorry, because had they not moved everything inside, it would have been. It would have been horrible.
Yeah, they made the right call and did everything, but it's just a bummer when the weather actually cooperated. Wish it was raining just so it validates that we went inside here, But,
absolutely.
But yeah, it was a great weekend, and I think a good reopening of Roswell after COVID here. So. Yeah.
So that was fun. And then, of course, now that I'm back here in the office after taking my kid to STEM camp, we've got Blair's Trading Post on Saturday at 10 a.m. It is their 50th anniversary of being open. So we've got a grand reopening and ribbon cutting type deal going on over there.
Okay, they're in the Monterey Shopping Plaza on 2nd there, right?
I believe so.
That's the...
I think so.
That's unless they moved to a new location.
And I know that Liz and Kyle are listening this morning, so if I make any mistakes, you'll see my phone flash.
Well, I used to, the radio station that I worked at many, many moons ago, and then I worked, and then, of course, I lived down there for like 10 on the south end for 10 years. So, yeah, they're by Salmon's and all that little shopping center.
So be looking for that on our Facebook page and everything. Today, we'll make sure to get everything up there. And then we are starting our sheriff's luncheon again now that we're open. So starting next Thursday at noon, we'll about 11:30 you can start kind of checking in, 11:45 checking in. The sheriff will come in and talk for lunch.
Okay.
And of course that is hosted by McDonald's. So come on in for some awesome McDonald's lunch.
Nice. Very good.
And then we have business after hours that same day at Clarion Inn.
Okay.
So the summer of business after hours, we have just about every Thursday booked.
That's good.
So we are excited.
Excellent. So yeah, these, if you've never been to a business after hours, because we haven't really had a bunch in a while because of COVID here, but we're back before COVID at BC, BC before COVID. They had the business after hours where a chamber member would kind of host a meet and greet event. They get the chamber business gets to spotlight their business, showcase their business a little bit, while folks come and mingle, interact, network, socialize, chit chat. They usually do have some door prizes and some light foods and things. Sometimes heavy foods, depending on the business and the venue. But generally, it's just a social mingle, after work mingle, get together, and a chance to network. You bring a business card and $1 if you want to get in on the drawing, and at the end of the evening, they'll pull a business card out and they win the money and all the business cards, and it's just a really great chance to network, to learn about some of our businesses. Obviously, the host business gets a chance to spotlight. A lot of times, businesses are either new or celebrating an anniversary, or maybe they anytime they have a big change, maybe an addition or a second location.
Correct.
A lot of times they use these as one of those milestones in their business to spotlight that.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, coming out of COVID is, there's not a better excuse to have a party.
Yeah, exactly.
And spotlight. So the Clarion Inn, and of course, business after hours starts at 5:30. We are done by 7, unless for some reason it's just, gangbusters.
Hey,
and we'll
people still want to mingle and hang out.
Absolutely. But all the prizes and stuff will be given away by 7 o'clock at the latest. So if you're on a time schedule, because obviously that's right after work.
Yeah.
It's in between dinner.
Got to get home for Dancing with the Stars or America's Got Talent or whatever.
Exactly. So we get all that. We have all the business after hours taken care of. But 5:30 to 7, that's Clarion next Thursday. Of course, next Thursday is also the Sheriff's Luncheon.
Mm-hmm.
So start calling us over at the Chamber, 623-5695, and RSVP.
Yes.
Because we do only have so many seats available in the boardroom.
And past history, especially for the Sheriff's Luncheon, is generally it fills up. So,
absolutely.
So please just call the Chamber, RSVP for that. Business after hours, you don't have to RSVP. To just come on out.
Yeah, just show up, and you don't have to be a member to show up for either of those events. Just show up, but we do ask that you RSVP for the luncheon.
Yes.
Business after hours, it's for the entire community because, like you said, it's that networking opportunity for everybody, as well as to come see the business that's being highlighted and showcased. And then, of course, we don't want to forget Blair's Trading Post ribbon cutting, 10 a.m. on Saturday.
Yeah, and then when they're done cutting the ribbon, go on in there and see what treasures you can find.
Oh, they always have so many cool things.
Yeah. Think of, they're like a fancier version of American Pickers, if that makes sense to you.
Yes, that's a great analogy.
Yeah, and when I mean the fancy version, you don't have to go through dusty barns and stuff to find things. They've kind of done that part already for you. You just got the different the shops and setups there that you can go and find their various treasures and things like that.
Absolutely. So, and I want to say welcome to Kyle Whitefoot. He is our new addition over at the Chamber. We're looking forward to having him on staff.
R.I.P., sir.
That's right. That's right. Pretty much, especially with Liz and I. In fact, yesterday afternoon,
I wish I had a hat. I'd just be like...
I looked him square in the eyes yesterday, and I was like, so you are coming back tomorrow. We haven't scared you off yet. And he goes, no. He goes, I'm not easily scared. And I was like, yes.
Great.
Okay.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Absolutely. Because I have to always because my kids are like, I don't think we're coming home. And I'm like, okay, if I've scared my own children, let's just make sure.
My day is done.
We are so excited to have Kyle on board. So he's going to take over membership.
Okay. So he might be coming to your business near you pretty soon and introduce himself and everything else. So very good. Well, I imagine Liz might take him around the first time, I'm guessing. And
absolutely.
Then turn him on his own.
We were showing him the ropes yesterday, and yesterday was the perfect day for a first day because it was really quiet, so we could really show him mostly computer stuff. And it's funny. We're like, so what do you know? And he's like, enough to be able to find videos. And we're like, okay, well, really all you need to know is this. And we showed him, and the phones didn't ring a whole lot, so it was a perfect day for training.
Good deal.
So we're excited to have Kyle on board.
All right. Well, come meet him today. Come by the Chamber.
And then it's going to crank up and get busy. And then we'll see what happens. But we're excited. I have no doubt that now, not that the team before was and it was bad, but we were sad to see Brian go.
Yeah.
We do have to say goodbye to Brian.
Has he officially moved on to...
He did. His first day at Snowburger Enterprises was yesterday.
Okay.
So, of course, in our group text, we were like, hey, Brian, how was your day? Are you ready to come back yet? And he's like, stop. He's like, but no, we're excited for Brian. He went over to work for Nick. And so we're sad to see him go, but excited for his new opportunity because you can't ever keep somebody from taking that next step in their career.
That's the whole point, is personal and growth for everybody.
Absolutely.
And businesses and things.
And we've told Brian the door's always open if he wants to come in and say hi.
Yeah. And, I'm sure on his days off, he wants to volunteer. They'll find stuff for him.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Come on down. But, we wish Brian, obviously, it's not like you're not going to see him again. He'll probably be all over the chamber.
Oh, I'm sure.
Doing things and stuff.
I'm sure Nick will send him in his proxy.
So it's not like he's gone forever. He's
correct. He's just up the street, and we're excited for Brian. And like I said, we're excited to have Kyle in. So now that gives us a little bit more of that balance. We don't have all women in the, not that Brian's a woman. I'm not saying that, Brian, because I know he's listening this morning, but it's nice to have that mixture. And Brian did that, and Kyle's doing that because, Liz and I can get a little crazy from time to time.
So you got to break up that just one-sided.
Oh, absolutely.
Bring in a testosterone point of view.
Absolutely. He can be that balance. And like I said, one day he's like, okay, we're good. We'll check in a month and see what he has to say.
Well, if I had a hat, I'd put it down in here. Got condolences, sir.
So other than that, we're just cranking up and, ready to have our state open since officially as of Thursday. We're open. Not that you couldn't have seen that before.
That's official.
Yeah, it's official. So we're just looking forward to all the new events and new things that we can do now that we are officially open and we don't have to hide under, the cover of darkness and move cars around like it was, back in April, May, June, July of last year, that we can do a lot of things. So we're looking forward to booking the calendar. So I found out, I'm sure we all know, reading the paper and the news, that the adult center has raised their rates over there, as, in my opinion, they kind of needed to, as well as other city facilities. But I did notice that some of those organizations were moving. So we have offered and extended our boardroom if it fits, because I understand that it's not
big
for everyone.
For some things, but it might not be big enough for others.
Correct. So we have extended the invitation that if anybody wants to come and look at our boardroom and see if it fits their needs, we are more than happy to rent it out at a reasonable price. And we, of course, we've got some set rates, but if it's an organization that is, kind of limited on funds, we are more than happy to work with you on that.
Yeah. I just know from Leadership Roswell, you can comfortably do a meeting of about 30 in there.
Well, and I think with our new tables and chairs, we can actually fit a few more.
A few more in there. Good deal.
Because if I can remember, capacity is technically, I think, right around 45 people.
Okay, very good. I just know I've seen about 30 in there, and it worked.
Oh, absolutely.
I guess maybe sheriff's luncheons, that will put it to the test sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And with our new tables, we're excited because they're a little more thinned out, and they fit a little bit better because they're not that oblong shape. Yeah. So they're excited.
Updated a little bit, I guess.
So we're excited to see how many people we can cram in that room.
Yeah. So if you are an organization here looking for a meeting space, nonprofits, even if you are a chamber member and you're needing a meeting space for some kind of special event or things, that's kind of one of the parts of being a chamber member. You can utilize that facility.
Absolutely. And as a chamber member, it is at no cost to our members.
Yeah.
If you are not a member of the chamber, that's where that cost comes in because we do have to pay for the lights.
Absolutely. Yeah. We got to cover the cost of the chamber.
But we're excited for all of those things. And, just... Once again, if there's anything that you would like to see from the chamber, give us a call. Contact us on social media through the website.
Absolutely.
Because if I'm not doing what you guys want us to do, then there's no purpose for us to be around.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of events happening at the conference room there, here's one.
Yes.
Next week, Vitalent is having their Battle of the Badges. I was talking Battle of the Bands last week, so now Battle of the Badges event, and this is they pit the firefighters versus the police in a blood collection, blood donation. So it's just like years past. You go to donate blood. You decide whether your blood counts towards the firefighters or police officers. It's all in fun, but maybe if you've got a family and you're split, half go police, half go fire, or however you want to do that. But anyway, it's going to be happening at the chamber next Thursday and Friday. You can call Stephanie at Vitalent 575-840-8178 to sign up. If you see the flyers around town, they've got the little QR codes on them.
Correct.
You can scan them for Friday or for Thursday, and that way it'll sign you up. And then once you're signed up, when you donate blood, that's when you tell them what side you want it on and all that. I think normally I haven't seen it on here, but normally they do T-shirts and all that too. I'm not sure if they're going to be doing that this year or not, but that might be COVID. That might be one of the things.
They do a great job in giving, as Sean says, give your vein gravy.
Sweet vein gravy.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Because it does save lives. I've noticed there have been a few accidents around town lately, so that goes to save those lives.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing in the past something like about the time you donate your blood and everything, about a week later, it's going into somebody's body on average. There to that now, and of course, if you have the O blood types, even the positive or the negative, they're both in demand for because one's universal to give.
Correct.
The other is universal.
Very rare.
Yeah, but it's also they use in some kind of surgical procedure or something. There's something in there that they have a benefit for.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter what your blood type is. Everybody,
because they'll
please
use
donate.
it no matter what.
And if you don't know your blood type, you'll find out the first time you donate blood, because after they give you a thing, they'll tell you your blood type and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Military told me mine, but
yeah, I know mine. I had surgery when I was very, very little, and so my parents have just always told me.
That's why I found out my wife's blood type before I married her. Now I know I've got a reserve in case she's the same blood type I am.
Oh, there you go.
So now I got a reserve in case.
Oh, so you can do vein to vein transfusion.
Yeah,
if
I'm
you
like,
need.
hey, I'm dying. Get it off her. She's got the same blood type.
I'm sure she'll appreciate that.
That's why I married her, for her blood type.
There you go. Well, there's to each their own.
Yes, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's a great way to help out and get involved. So please sign up. And it's actually very easy. I know a lot of people get scared or this and that, and I understand. I'm not a fan of people sticking things in my arm and taking my stuff away from me. I get it too. You're like, yeah, that's not exactly, but
it's
really
not quite that bad.
It's not. It really isn't that big a deal, and it's to be honest.
And you get a cookie after.
Yeah, you get cookies and
juice.
things, and really, it's the easiest thing that you can do that has the biggest benefit to somebody else.
Absolutely.
I mean, you're literally just laying there for about 20 minutes while they take a pint of blood out of you. That could save someone's life.
Yeah.
That single act of you sitting there and then eating a couple cookies and some tea afterwards, that simple little act is the difference between someone having a family member join them for dinner that next night and sometimes not. So please
it
consider
will save a life. You just don't always know whose life you're saving.
Yeah.
And yeah, absolutely.
And I think they do some of that too. Like if you go to donate blood, like when you adopt a child or whatever, they say you adopted so and so. I think they do it, not telling you like we just put your blood in Bo Bob Johnson over here. What they do is they say, hey, we use your blood on this date. Your blood was used to save a life on this date, kind of thing.
And I think that once you become a regular donor, I think they'll tell you over the lifetime you've saved X amount of lives as well. And how cool is that to know that you've been a part of that?
Absolutely. It's kind of those days you're feeling blue. It's like, well, look, how many lives I've saved right here. It's a pretty good thing. But please, if you are needing the chamber for anything as a business, as a nonprofit, the chamber is there is to connect and to make those things happen. So if you're not a chamber member, I'm sure our newest member will be visiting you soon and want to talk to you about
Kyle, Liz, myself, all three of us can help you become a member.
Yeah,
because there are some great benefits. And
there's various levels of membership.
Absolutely.
So if you're a small business, you're like, I mean, and then there's, corporate, to bigger. And obviously the larger or the higher the level you enter, the more perks and things you
Correct.
get. But
and the perks and the benefits that we offer, at whatever level you sign up, if you see something that you're like, you know what, I don't know that I'm really going to use that particular benefit, sit down and let us know, and we'll work it so that way you can we'll give you the benefits
kind
that
of
are
a
going
la
to
carte it
absolutely
a little bit, yeah.
Because we're learning that not everybody. Oh, surprise! Not every business is the same and has the same needs.
Sure, absolutely. So please, let's talk about that. Even I even like using the chamber is that conduit for, like, say, chamber members, and I know businesses. They pick their passion projects and things that they want to help. The business is now off the ground and they want to give back to their organizations and things like that. If you're wanting to do that kind of stuff, I love to use that chamber as that conduit to say, all right, if you're a business wanting to support a nonprofit or a nonprofit, I love to use that chamber as that conduit. Say, let's make that happen and let's help the nonprofit, but at the same time help that business that wants to support that.
Absolutely.
And we can definitely use that chamber. Folks can use the chamber as that conduit to help. And,
we're constantly evolving. So, and reinventing ourselves, because the Chamber of Commerce, the way it was, for our grandparents and our parents, is completely different than what the vision of a chamber is today.
Sure.
And that's not just us here in Roswell. That's talking to many of my friends and family who are part of chambers around the nation and around the state, that it is constantly evolving and trying to figure out how do we best serve not only our members, but our community? Because at the end of the day, we are a community organization.
Absolutely. And I think, all businesses really benefit from being a chamber member, but I would even make an argument that if you're like a mom and pop small business, the chamber can be more beneficial to you than you realize. And
absolutely.
What I mean by that is, larger companies and things, they may have a budget for marketing. They have but you know what I mean? They've got departmentalized things going on there. Mom and pop, it's maybe you and your family, maybe your family, maybe it's just you,
maybe just you.
Yeah, and so you're the marketer, you're the stock person, you're everything with that business, and sometimes that's impossible to do, and that's where the chamber can help you with some of that. Your chamber membership, when it comes in terms of promotions and things like that, you can get so much bang for your buck there. But even if you're like, look, I'm in the business because I love my widget, but let's face it, I'm kind of learning on a fly how to be the business side of things. There's connections through that, opportunities through various classes, seminars. Now that we're out of COVID, we can start bringing some of those back to the world again, too.
And we can put people together. Like you said, if you are in fact, we just got a call yesterday. A gentleman wants to open a new business here in Roswell. And so he contacted the Chamber of Commerce because he goes, I don't know even where to start. So we asked him a little bit, of those clarifying questions. What kind of business are you going to be opening? Because it does kind of depend on where we send you, depending, on what you're doing. Now, some of the stuff is, you're going to have to go to City Hall and go get your business license.
Sure.
That's universal for everybody. But, depending on what niche you're in, maybe we can put you together. If you're in the healthcare industry, we've got contacts there, and we'll say, okay, here are the 3-5 people that we recommend that you talk to, and they'll help you really figure out where the best location is and what you need to do. If you're a retail business, same thing. We go through our members, and of course we do members first, that we recommend that, hey, we need you to go talk to these people. They'll help you set up your retail business. Here are the places that we know give seminars. And as we are collecting that information in the chamber, we're also thinking about those things. What are things that are not being taught in town that people are looking for? And so we're willing to help with anything. Let us know. Some of the things I've heard from businesses around town is we need people to teach potential employees resume writing, how to fill out an application, something as simple as filling out an application, how to interview. And it's, to me, a lot of this stuff is a no-brainer. But I have to remember not everybody knows the same things that I know.
Absolutely.
So some people need to be taught. I've learned that with my children, especially my daughter, who is now almost 16 years old, wants a job. And so she's like, hey, I need a job. What do I do? Well, to me, I'm like, go fill out an application. Go do. And she's like, what? And I was like, okay. That's right. You've never done this before.
It's all foreign to her. Yeah.
This is what you need to do. Make sure you have your social security number memorized or your card with you. Things like that. Know who your emergency contacts are going to be because those are things that to me I already have memorized.
101, just,
yeah,
exactly.
40 years of life. I have all that stuff memorized. And my daughter at 16 is like, what's an emergency contact? Okay, the guy you want to have called when you cut off your left arm.
Right now, it's me. I'm your emergency contact.
Exactly.
But yeah.
And so, how to dress for an interview, how to dress for work. And once again, what is what attire is work appropriate, like here at the radio station, is a different level than, say, selling cars or going and working at the hospital.
You're like, I got pants on today.
No, absolutely. Nobody sees you.
Yeah.
So it's that kind of stuff that, how do you be appropriate for these different things?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they're not being taught in school anymore. And I think that's where I learned.
Sure.
Was in high school. It was this little class called home economics.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's no different, as we become adults and things. It's, whatever experience you have is where your expertise lies. And we understand, especially with small businesses, they're like, that maybe they make the great cakes or whatever it is they make, but that their passion is that. And you're like, well, how do I make this into something marketable that I can make a profit from? And unfortunately, and that's why small businesses have that success fail rate that's so high, because a lot of times people don't think they think they have the dream because they make an awesome cake, but how do you get that to the world?
Exactly.
And that's where it doesn't succeed. And,
absolutely,
and that's where the chamber can help with that. And
that's
connect
exactly
those
where
dots.
the chamber fits in, is that we can help put those pieces together.
Absolutely. So please utilize that. Ask about that if you want more information about that. That's where the chamber makes those connections. So please, if you need, of course, magazine, things like that, if you want opportunities there, please let us know.
Second issue of the magazine has been sent to the printers.
Okay.
So it should be coming out here pretty quickly. Okay. And hitting doors.
So we start learning about some of our amazing folks of Roswell in this next issue here. So.
And I have to give a shout out to Brian that the last few days before he sent it off to the printers, he worked some long hours to put it all together. Good. And lots of proofreading. And Liz and I were kind of chuckling because he was like, okay, read this. And once again, there's a reason that you have proofreaders and you have more than just one person look at it.
Sure.
Because we all looked at the same thing, put it down, came back, and then found...
It's like you remember those Febreze commercials where they say you've gone nose blind to things? Oh, it's kind of that way. Where if you're staring at the same thing over and over, you almost don't notice the mistake, even though you looked over it 4 times. But it just it's fine in your brain. Then someone else looks who hasn't been staring at it for an hour. I'm like, dude, you spelled leg wrong.
Yeah,
and
or the because your mind. Knows that it's supposed to be the dog, not the dog.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And so you gloss over that, but when you put it in print and it shows up at your doorstep, you're going to go, what? Why are there 3 thes in this sentence?
I don't know. Maybe you should leave one of those in, just like a Where's Waldo or
that's interesting.
Why do you put it there? Well, why wouldn't we put it there?
Yeah. Maybe it was on purpose.
Maybe, we're Roswell. We're good. We're all based on things hidden in things. So let's do this.
There you go. Yeah. So the new issue will be out shortly.
Cool.
I don't have an exact date because the printer, obviously, it's at the printer, so it's all based off of printer
probably next few
and
weeks
mail.
here, we should start seeing them in the mailbox.
Within a week or so, I would say.
And like the first issue, if you have an address in Chavez County, one of these magazines will be going.
Correct. And if you want to be added, right now, I would say within the next day or two, give us a call.
Okay.
And we'll make sure that new address gets added.
Okay.
Because I know some people were like, I got it at one address, but I'd like it to be at both of these addresses. Call me. Let us know. Because right now is the perfect time to get those additional addresses sent in. Because it has not been mailed yet. It's actually in printing process. So,
now, does it get sent directly from there, or does it come here first?
No, it goes directly from the printer into the mail.
To the mail. Sweet. Very good. So call the chamber today. What's the phone number they can call?
575-623-5695.
Very good. And, of course, you can always follow the chamber on Facebook and Instagram.
Correct.
Those are the two social medias that are pretty active there to stay up to date on events like Business After Hours and these different events like that, Sheriff's Luncheon, things like that. And, of course, call today. Sooner rather than later, because 1 week from Thursday, tomorrow, will be the Sheriff's Luncheon. And I tell you, those in the past filled up. Since this one's just kind of getting underway, you might slip in under the radar because I didn't know they're back. One of those moves. But call the chamber this week, RSVP your slot. Get a chance. If you've never been to one, of course, McDonald's puts out the great food, and then Sheriff just kind of sits there and answers questions, just gives updates.
He usually does a really good job of opening up with an update of, hey, this is what's been going on in the county, and I'm sure he'll have a lot to go over since we haven't had
been a couple
luncheon
year and a half here, so.
Yeah, and then, of course, bring your questions. If there's anything that you want to ask the sheriff, anything, he is very open, and he'll take any questions.
Yeah, trust me, I've asked him a bunch.
Oh, yeah. I ask him constantly, both privately and publicly. I'm like, hey. And he, sometimes I think he knows I try to rattle him sometimes because he'll just look at me and be like, really? That's the question you asked?
Inquiring minds want to know.
But he's not easily rattled, hence why he's the sheriff.
Right. He's pretty much any ridiculousness we come up with, he's probably seen or done.
He chuckles a lot because I'm like, hey, so I watched on a TV show once when I was 5, and he's like, really? Like, that's what you're going to talk about?
In 1978, I saw this.
Is that really how it works? And he's like, really? It's TV, sweetie.
Yeah. Well, that's what I used when I first, it was right around when Live PD was like a big deal, and like everybody was watching that, or at least I was. And so I get in, I'm like, all right, I watched Live PD. I saw a cop do this, this, and this. Why did he do that? And so I was breaking him down for notes and everything. But he's a good dude. Go out to the Sheriff's Luncheon next week. Did we get it all?
I think so.
Stuff?
Yeah.
Awesome.
My phone's not going off, so I think I hit everything correctly.
Mission accomplished.
Woohoo!
Very good. Well, thank you, Andrew. As always,
Absolutely.
Appreciate the visit. And folks, come on by the chamber. What's the give the hours out for the office hours?
We are open 10 to 4 to the public, but somebody is in the office from 9 to 5. If you see one of our cars out in the parking lot and the door's locked, just knock on it, because sometimes if we're in there by ourselves, we'll lock the door. Or sometimes we do forget to unlock the door at times. So knock. But basically from 10 to 4, there's somebody there. Doors are open. And, of course, 623-5695. Give us a call. We'll, if we don't answer right away, we'll call you right back.
Absolutely.
So come see us.
Come connect.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Andrea.
Absolutely.
Stay dry. Hopefully this rain will
So far, it looks nice today.
Yeah, so far so good. It is 7:52.